So if you're coming from the Luminii video I just did on the difference between basics, optic arts, and Luminii proper, thank you for watching. Thanks for coming on over to this one. Today we're going to talk about Myka. This is the smallest extrusion Luminii has ever offered. It's even smaller than Bosca. It is 0.49 inches in both directions. But being small is not the only reason why people are loving the Myka extrusion. A couple of major talking points about Myka. If you watched that previous video, then you know that Optic Arts' engines are based on the LL42 and LL72 light engines, both of which fit in this guy. So you're not changing your light quality or your lighting options if you specify Myka. Now, what I'm holding up here is the frosted extrusion. Your everyday, this is what I'm going to use for my under cabinet, for this, that, and the other thing. The absolute hit of the show, I mean the absolute hit, was this guy. Not only does Myka offer its teeny tiny extrusion, but also an integral louver. So when you're trying to do long runs of wall washing or under cabinet lighting or any other feature where you're trying to laterally throw light at the wall and not see little stripes in your eyes, this is going to be your solution, and we're going to light it up right now to prove it. Okay. So what I'm holding up here is LL72 standard output in 3500 Kelvin. And what you can see is the same great Luminii light quality. Again, go back and look at that other video. You're going to see that the same kind of light quality because it's the same light. But what's different here is not just the shape of the extrusion, but the quietness. This is one of those things that's super hard to show in camera, so you can start to see what that's doing there at the louver. There we go. That's a pretty good representation of what you're actually going to see as you look into that. So I didn't want to turn all the lights back on. Here's the K40. This is the MK45 extrusion. So this is meant to be your, mounted in millwork, pointing back at the wall or pointing up to do a wall wash. This can also be recessed. I'll show you that extrusion in a second. Really cool little detail. Again, internal louver to cut down on that linear glare. I'm going to leave this light on just for a second so you can see what the louver is doing. And then I'm going to turn this light off. And again, the camera's going to do a lot of compensating here, so I'm just going to have to ask you to trust me that this is really well shielded, because it is. There. Now, I think what's really telling about this is look how close I am to the sample, and as I back out, I'm only about a foot off of this sample, and I'm getting really nice even light up and down the sample. And it's really demonstrative of what the fixture is capable of, despite the small form factor and all of that shielding. If you were to light this up against other extrusions, of course it's going to blast a lot more light because it's not doing nearly as much lateral shielding. If I turn this way, you're not even aware of the light source, right? I can even start to tip it, and the light source is not becoming apparent to you. So it's a really, really clean, really, really, really shielded small form factor light source. Really quickly, I just want to walk through the extrusion options, right? So this is your standard Myka. We'll bring that real close to the camera. Again, 0.49 in each dimension, with or without the integral louver. I showed this in the mock-up phase, but this is the MK45 extrusion, right? Again, meant to light a vertical surface by tilting the light 45 degrees. Out of my handy-dandy case here, you're seeing the recessed version. So this gives you a little micro flange. If the issue here is that you're trying to recess this into millwork, but you need to have a catch, you can do that. Something I didn't mention on the surface-mounted extrusions that I would be remiss if I forgot is the hidden hardware. So when you specify Myka as a surface mount, what you're going to get is this mounting flush to your surface. And the way it does that is right in this channel, there are brackets that get popped in here. You screw those onto your millwork, you snap them onto the brackets, and there will be no visible hardware on this side of the fixture. So really nice, really clean way of doing that. This extrusion was probably the hit of Leducation. Designers really love this one because it solves a lot of problems. And that is the, again, recessed, but internal, and let's see if I can get this on camera for you. An internally recessed 45 degree with a louver, right? That's a mouthful. But what that gets you is you recess this into a piece of millwork. Light is going to come out here at a 45 with a really insanely clean cutoff. If I tilt this towards you, you can sort of see what I'm talking about. Really, really beautiful cutoff on this. And then last but certainly not least, your mud-in extrusions, okay? So you're going into drywall, gyp, and you want to have this whole line of light just disappear in there. We can do that. We do that with this mud-in extrusion. The extrusion would stay in the ceiling, obviously, and then the light engine is removable for service if need be. That comes in both this mud-in, which is just a flat downlight version, and a flat lensed version. This was a big hit at the show. This has been a big hit among designers. Again, if you need to see a sample, you want to see a sample case, reach out to SDA Lighting, New York, New Jersey. We're here for you to get those samples in your hands in whatever color, temperature, and output you want to make sure you feel comfortable specifying it on your next job. If you need a primer on Luminii tape and extrusion and why it is the best on the market, just jump to this video right